Good evening, friends. With the efflux of time for more than 5 to 6 hours, it is damn sure that the intensity of our voice definitely goes down. I will not ask you to repeat good evening, but I'm finding faces of so many members smiling for the meaning, probably, of course, in the lighter vein, that at last now, person standing before you is the last speaker of the day. And usually we say last but not the least. Same will be the case here. This is last but not the least. On the contrary, this is such a portion where the culminating part of your exercise, which you usually carry out every year for 3 months to 9 months, it is being given a final shape there. You already have taken 3 marathons during the year. A substantial portion of your RAM has definitely been utilized. Hardly a small portion of the RAM has still left, wherein I can make some dent into it. But there is a saying that howsoever full a glass of milk may be, you can definitely add some sugar powder into that. And my job is nothing else but adding sugar powder to it. Because when you file the return ultimately in the fag end of the October and substantially in the fag end of September when you file Form 10B and 10BB, really the sigh of relief which you get while returning home at 11:30, it is not comparable with any of the enjoyable moment. So this is the last 3 hours of the mandatory hours, what we say. Time runs very fast. Though we had more than 30 minutes of leeway because of the inaugural session was not there. Still, we see that clock is running very fast. And whenever in our usual resources which are available to us in any of the format, including time, when there is unexpected dent, we definitely think in terms of income tax that हाँ वो TDS कट गया. तो वो जो फेमस एक जो शायरी है उसको थोड़ा चेंजिंग ऑफ वर्ड्स के साथ में मैं आपके सामने पेश करना चाहूंगा कि उम्र दराज मांग के लाई थी 4 दिन. प्लीज नॉट सब्सिक्वेंटली द चेंज इन द वर्ड्स. उम्र दराज मांग के लाई थी 4 दिन, 2 आरजू में कट गए 2 TDS में. जब मैं यहाँ आने को निकला तब कुछ मेरा फ्रेंड ये भी कह रहे थे कि भाई वहां जाएगा तो तुझे बोलने में प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं होगी ना, बिकॉज सम ऑफ माई फ्रेंड्स आर हैविंग स्टेज फियर. मैंने कहा स्पीकिंग इज नॉट ए प्रॉब्लम एनी टाइम unless I'm at home and speaking before my wife. The area given to me is circulars and notifications and ITR 7. But before that, I would like to speak on some general issues also. We all have different feelings at different times of practical working of the table. First one is that section 11, 12 and 13 and section 10, 23. Both are two different regimes, but it needs to be merged perfectly. Every time you speak something about 11 or 12, parallelly you have to speak about 1023C. Whereas the ultimate provisions are same. I have not been able to finalize or conclude what is the reason behind keeping these two different and parallel segments. So that is one suggestion from me for, because Income Tax Act, as far as I have heard, is under final repealing. We have seen so many rationalization and simplification. These words are always used together. I don't know what is the reason. Because none of the rationalization has ever resulted into simplification. That is our experience. This time, let us hope it will be rationalization coupled with the simplification also. There is a provision of the provisional registration, which they grant you without asking a single question. And when it comes to final registration, they ask you so many questions. We really get surprised whether your intention is to grant the registration or your intention is to reject the registration. And first of all, I do not understand the logic behind provisional registration. Is it like driving a vehicle, 4-wheeler or 2-wheeler? कि पहले आपको प्रोविजनल मतलब वो लर्निंग लाइसेंस देना है और बाद में आपको पक्का लाइसेंस देना है। ट्रस्ट इज अ ट्रस्ट, उसका एक ही एप्लीकेशन होना चाहिए। यू आस्क वट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू आस्क। एक्ट बनाने का आपके पास अधिकार है, बनाइए। मैं कभी ना नहीं कहता हूं, लेकिन वो इनइक्विटेबल लॉ कभी नहीं होना चाहिए, इम्प्रैक्टिकल लॉ कभी नहीं होना चाहिए। लॉ इज व्हाट अल्टीमेटली, law is meant for peaceful conduct of the society or any particular segment of that within a given framework. So ये प्रोविजनल रजिस्ट्रेशन है, उसका भी प्रावधान मेरे ख्याल से निकल जाना चाहिए। देयर शुड बी ओनली वन थिंग, हाउसएवर इन इंग्लैंड it is very difficult to get your trust registered. That is one process only, maybe lasting to 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, whatever. Once you get it, it is final. And that should be the case here. Earlier it was so, but in the second regime, when it started after first April 21, this anomaly has somehow crept in the system. Date of commencement, as we discussed during the paper presented by Mr. Bhattacharya ji, date of commencement. So many hue and cry is there. Number of commissioners are also divided on different opinions. So not to speak of ourselves. At least when so many circulars have been issued, then the word commencement, date of commencement, that they should have defined. And let them not define, but I do not understand the logic behind date of commencement. So many things are hinging upon date of commencement, whereas so far as the genuineness of the trust is concerned, so far as the carrying out the activity is concerned, getting donation is concerned, where does this date of commencement comes into play? I don't understand. And we all are running after the कि बॉम्बे कमिश्नर का डेफिनेशन क्या है डेट ऑफ कमेंसमेंट का, गुजरात कमिश्नर का डेट ऑफ कमेंसमेंट का डेफिनेशन क्या है. वी ऑलवेज कीप ऑन सरप्राइजिंग. सो अनलेस वी गेट 2 to 3 slaps on our head or on the head of our client, then only we come to know that how do we have to go. And even after that, the further way and further path is not 100% assured. Trust scenario wherein we are functioning. Of course, certain provisions are difficult, illogical, inequitable, everything is there, but not, I mean, just compared with the commercial segment, means tax audit and all that, partnerships and limited company. There we get positive response from the party. When you say something, you ask something within a day or within a two, something will be given to you. Mostly you will be required to carry out minor repairing, not major repairing. Whereas in our case, when we ask something to the trustees or when we ask something to the accountants of the trustees, number of times they will be ignorant about the existing law. How so many articles have been published in income tax before 5 years, 10 years, more than 10,000 cash payment is not allowed. TDS इतना करना है. They may not be knowing precisely what TDS is, but at least इतना तो मालूम है कि TDS करना चाहिए, कुछ ना कुछ जगह करना चाहिए. Even when in practice they get some doubt कि भाई ये transaction में TDS होगा या नहीं होगा, they will never ask you. सब चीज एक बार पूरी हो गई, then they will come to know, sir, this is the transaction. Then you will be surprised, you will frown your eyebrows and you will ask, what about TDS? इसमें TDS करना पड़ता है का? इतने इनोसेंटली बात करेंगे कि अगर आपका चले तो उसको एक लकड़ी मार दे उसके सर पे. And for this type of behavior, I am always thankful to them because they are elevating our level of endurance. Sincerely and factually, I say more than 40% of the trustees even now, I don't know what is the situation in Maharashtra, but in Gujarat, it is definitely there. More than 40% of the trustees, even today, believe that TDS provisions are not applicable to trust. In this scenario, sir, how will you go ahead? How will you break your head? Various provisions we were discussing, section 115 TD. It is just like शेर की सवारी. Only entry is there. There is no exit. The entry word itself signifies that there has to be exit. Positive sign definitely means that negative sign is definitely there. You share some logical provisions. बटा भैया साहब ने जो बात किया कि भाई 50 साल पहले इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी ली है, अभी उसका वैल्यूएशन करके वो लेंगे, क्या है ये सब? इट इज जस्ट वन वे. शेयर के ऊपर आप बैठ सकते हैं, जब तक चाहे जी चाहे सवारी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन वो सवारी में से आप नीचे नहीं उतर सकते. बस ऐसा कहां देखा है? इंटीग्रिटी की मैंने आपके साथ बात कर ली कि so many provisions are designed in such a way whether it is a simplification or whether it is simple form of doing certain things, or whether it is a trap game. 30 pages, 40 pages, 15 pages forms are designed in such a way that even chartered accountants find it difficult to fill up without studying. Then how to speak of a common man? Whereas the law is meant for common man. Law has got the role as such of becoming a friend, philosopher, and guide. Whereas all the three words have absolutely lost their meaning in the practical life. What we have been witnessing the law during last 15 years, 20 years, or 30 to 40 years, law has lost their meaning. Law is not there for administering the thing, or law is not there for regulating the thing. In practical, it appears that it is for controlling the thing. In some cases, it goes to domination or dominance, exercising dominance over the things. The things belong to you, but the law wants to dominate you. And in some cases, it has gone to torture also. So many points are there, but I just thought it better to share these things with you. Uh, ये फाइल चेंज कर ओके चलो I was first to discuss, in fact, circulation notification. We are having issues in filing of ITR 7. Let us start with issues in filing of ITR 7, which is the culminating part of your 8 to 10 months exercise of every year. It is some more than 27 or 40 pages, and whether we call it a form, actually I call it a huge statistical return, huge statistical data collection form, which asks from you n number of things in n number of ways. So many points are there that should get, in fact, get got crossed tally. But you need to understand number of things before going that. Let us go one by one. Primarily, part A, general, and one thing, yes, ITR 7. Part A general आएगा, then somewhere schedule J आएगा, then somewhere schedule P आएगा, somewhere schedule C आएगा. अगर मैं एट रैंडम आपको पूछूं कि शेड्यूल जे कहाँ पर आएगा, तो आप बता नहीं पाएंगे कि ये 30 पेज के ये रिटर्न में 5वां पेज पे आएगा या 8वें पेज पे आएगा. यू विल हैव टू स्क्रॉल डाउन रैंडमली. एक्चुअली नंबरिंग जो है उसका भी थोड़ा सीक्वेंसिंग होना चाहिए, सो दैट वी गेट सम लॉजिकल आइडिया बिहाइंड व्हाट वी आर रीडिंग एंड व्हाट इज द स्मॉल पार्ट ऑफ द बिग थिंग दैट वी आर रिफरिंग टू. I hope my words reach to the persons who are framing all these things. Sometimes I get an idea that 25 to 50 really intelligent officers of income tax or any other act for that matter, because formation of the form and formation of the act always takes some or other form of meeting. अभी समझो 40 लोग बैठे हुए हैं मीटिंग में, all are having good intention. I do not deny that anyone is having malified intention. एक ऑफिसर के दिमाग में कुछ भी अनाप शनाप चीज आ जाती है फॉर सम रीजन. He has witnessed something, and to circumvent that thing, without thinking of anything else, he suggests something. Remaining 39 officers do not object to that, and that anaap shanaap thing suggested by that person becomes the law. It becomes the centralized law. It is very difficult to even identify the location where you can send your suggestion or your complaint. And even if you find that and you send your suggestion and complaint, you are absolutely not sure whether that will be even recognized or not. On the contrary, you are more sure that it will not be recognized. Though it is a law meant for us, we are put at the last row of the hall. If I am exceeding my limit, kindly pardon me, because I am always little bit of anguished nature so far as this acts and rules and forms and all that comes. Initially, part A, general basic details of the trust is required to be given. Take care, because number of times it so happens that we call a trust in some different name than what is written in the PAN card. So always write here the name as per the PAN card. Sometimes PAN card bears incorrect spelling also of the trust. Normally we are in so much of haste of the reading and doing the work that also we do not know. Whenever you find that some mistake is there in the spelling, for the timing you may complete the work, but later on you diarize that thing for correction of the PAN card. Name of A18 is the clause number. name of project, and nature and activity and classification. All these things are required to be given in that. Classification, by word classification, what do they actually mean? I do not know. When this return has been released, notified, guidance note has also been said to have been released. When you start reading the paper here, लिखा है please refer instruction for guidance. 1 मार्च को ये डिक्लेयर हो गया है, अभी तक इसका गाइडेंस इश्यू नहीं हुआ है. So you to solve the question without any clue given by the department. Going next, clause number A29, A19, you to say under which section you are registered, what is the date of approval, what is date of authority and effective date, all that. Those are common things. Next to that is registration under FCRA or Darpan or any other law under which your trust is registered. Darpan is now compulsory, as Bhattacharya said. But one thing I do not agree, it is not a easy job to get yourself, your trust registered on the Darpan. Even after everything has been submitted on Darpan portal, when you inquire after 1 month, the only reply comes on the screen that you have submitted or everything that you need to submit. Bas, itna aa jata hai. When you will get the registration, that we don't know. And n number of absurd things are being asked in that. It is not as simple as it seems on paper. And what is their definition of tapping on the screen? I don't know. Number of times they push you log out. And the reason given is that you have tapped more than, your tapping have exceeded 3 times. So what do they consider tapping? I don't know. Content to be submitted for Darpan might be very small, but the time that we need to devote for getting Darpan is extremely large, extremely large. In fact, we are not charging for the work that we do in getting Darpan, but we are charging for the time that we spend for that. Because at the cost of other alternative works, if we have to carry out this work, then it is definitely going to be very, very costly to us. You please bring this in mind. First of all, you say no to your client that I do not do Darpan. Then you ask for the fees. Otherwise, simply they will say कि इसका 10,000 है, 15,000 है, 20,000 कैसे हो सकता है? You ask them to go somewhere else, get it registered from. उसको इतना ही बोलो कि आपके ऑफिस में अगर किसी को इंटरनेट आता है तो इंटरनेट पे बैठ के कर लीजिए. मेरे ख्याल से 2-4 दिन में हो जाना चाहिए. Let them break their head. It is necessary for realization of the time, skill, and our ability that we put in for getting the work of our client. Written filing status, written filing under which section we have to write. Legal entity identifier, this is a new term that has been coined in this year. Legal entity identifier is a 20 character alphanumeric number. You have to compulsorily give it if your refund is more than 50 crores or more. Probably in corporate sector, this thing might be happening. But in our case, out of I think 150 trusts, suppose you are handling, gross receipt might be exceeding 50 crores in 1 or 2 trusts. They are speaking about income tax refund. Unlisted equity shares held by you. ये नहीं चल रहा, ये चल नहीं रहा है. हाँ. Name and type of the company wherein the equity shares are held by you. What is the opening balance? What is closing balance? Shares acquired by you, everything. One thing you have to mark here is that as per clause number 2A of provision to section 13(1)(d), such investment should not be held for a period exceeding 1 year. Otherwise, you will be running n number of risks. This is still not moving.
I think this is the
हाँ?
last
अच्छा, तो second page कैसे आएगा?
right button से
Yes. Okay. If any of your object is advancement of any other object of general public utility, then details of such project or institution and amount and everything is to be given. If there is an activity that you observe as a part of the objective of your trust, and there are receipts from any activity which is in the nature of trade, commerce, or business, or any activity rendering any service in relation to any trade, commerce, or business, either for a cess or a fees or for any other consideration, then aggregate receipts from such aggregate receipts should not exceed 20% in such case of the total receipts. Total receipts includes everything. You should always keep on counting or in your case. And if this percentage is increasing beyond 15%, then you have to caution your client also that please keep a watch on this. If it exceeds 20%, then there are severe consequences of this. Then if there is change in objectives of during the year, you to say yes or no. And if there is any change in the objectives, then information of the fresh application having been made within stipulated 30 days is required to be given. ये सब हो जाता उस तरह से है कि पूरा होने के बाद में हमारे पास आता है. Clients never think. I say my client number of time कि अगर 1 लाख रुपए का आप गेहूं भी अगर ले रहे हैं अनाज मंडी से और अगर मुझे आप पूछते हैं कि भी इसमें से टीडीएस करना है कि नहीं करना है, I will not get annoyed. On the contrary, I will thank you कि आपने मुझे पूछा. एक टारगेट रखो अपने पास कि आपको आपके चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट से 1 महीने में कम से कम 3 क्वेश्चन करने हैं और करने हैं. Usually your chartered accountant will not get annoyed. On the contrary, he will get useful inputs कि भाई ट्रस्टी सेगमेंट में कितना इग्नोरेंस अभी भी चल रहा है. और कभी भी ऐसा इग्नोरेंस वाला कोई पॉइंट आपके पास आता है एंड व्हेन यू गिव सजेशन टू इट, immediately prepare a good message with that reference and put it in your status, so that those persons who are verifying your status, at least they will come to know that such questions are going on in the society in the trust segment. I have found that habit. That's why I'm telling you. Had I not been found then following Sant Gnaneshwar, I would not have told you. Applicability, so that is about change in the objects. If it is first written, yes, no, that's okay. Applicability of section 1310 or as I said 1023C, when it is applicable. First condition is books of accounts and other documents not maintained as prescribed under section under Rule 17AA. Rule 17AA has been prescribed and notified, I think, probably in September 2022. That itself is a complete subject for a 3-hour CPE. Even as a chartered accountant, when you will go through deeply into Rule 17AA, आपको भी ऐसा लगेगा कि अरे इसमें ऐसा है, अरे इसमें ऐसा है. अगर आपको भी इतना अगर वो जज्बाती या इनअप्रोप्रिएट लगता है, तो अब आप ट्रस्टी को कैसे समझाएंगे, बस वो आप तय कर लीजिए एक बार. Books of accounts and other documents. Then next one is 10B and 10BB has not been furnished before specified date, which is 30th September. Last year, it was hell of a job for everyone because it came for the first time. Fortunately, CBDT notified 1 month no extension also. This year, there will not be notification for no extension for 10BB. Last year, the notification, the extension helped you to concentrate on 3CD and 3CD related return. And then in the later part of 1 month, you could concentrate on 10B or 10BB and ITR 7. This time, before 30th September only, you have to finish 3CD as well as 10B, and before 38 October, ITR 4 or 5 or whatever applicable, and ITR 7, everything together. So you have to tie up your belt or shoes or whatever you say. Third condition is ITR 7 has not been furnished within the time allowed under section 139(1) or under section 139(4). And the due date for 139(1) is of course 31st October, but due date under 39(4), please mind well, it is 31st of December. And as long as Form 10B or 10BB is filed within time, if you file your ITR 7 within 31st of December, then probably I presume no benefit is used from you. 9A and 10 should have been filed within time. 10BB and 10B or should have been filed within time. It is only for ITR 7 that you can file up to December instead of October. Then comes the first proviso to section 215 that also we discussed. And we have to keep a note that if exceeds 20%, then consequences are there. Now, if any of these conditions are there, then what ultimate consequences are there? Capital expenditure shall not be allowed. I do not understand when trust is genuine, when audited accounts have been submitted and furnished, when you prima facie do not doubt the genuineness of the balance sheet or figures mentioned in balance sheet or the income and expenditure account or the figures mentioned in income and expenditure account, then what is the logic behind distinguishing between capital expenditure and revenue expenditure so far as the allowability of that is concerned? मैं अगर 25 लाख रुपए का मकान बनाता हूँ एंड माय रिटर्न इज लेट तो उसको आप डिसअलाउ कर देंगे, लेकिन वही 25 लाख रुपीस अगर मैंने रिपेयरिंग में खर्च किए हैं तो यू विल अलाउ। इसमें कोई लॉजिक मुझे तो नजर नहीं आता है। इफ एनीवन कैन फ्रॉम यू कैन गेस एंड टेल मी द लॉजिक बिहाइंड दैट, आई वुड बी प्लीज्ड। Expenditure from corpus shall not be allowed. Okay. Expenditure from borrowings and loan will not be allowed. Claim of depreciation shall not be allowed. I think this has now become time barred. Almost claim of depreciation I don't see, at least so far as my practice is concerned. Even if they provide, they ask me also whether provision of depreciation is compulsory or necessary, or I always used to say them whether you provide depreciation in your books of account or not. It is not, I am not going to claim it. It is not going to be allowed to you. And capital expenditure, whenever you incur, provided other conditions are satisfied, 100% of the capital expenditure itself is allowed in the year of application itself. And after that, still, if anyone insists, if any trust management insists, because someone in the trustee mandal comes after reading the Companies Act, in the sitting in the trustees room, he forgets that he is now working for the trust. नहीं किशोर भाई, घसारानी जोगवाई तो करवी ज पड़े. Then I don't argue much with them, but say only one thing to them. While providing depreciation, you do not deduct depreciation from the principal value, principal amount of the capital. You debit income expenditure account with the heading depreciation and credit depreciation fund account. So that in balance sheet, capital, all capital, whether building or furniture, whatever, that always appears at a gross value. Appearing those assets at gross value will facilitate comparison with the fixed asset register or dead stock register or furniture register. Otherwise, every time you have to make a reconciliation with the amount of depreciation. And when you sell something else, then arriving at the figure is facilitated in this manner instead of following the WDV method. Out of probably 150 trusts that I am handling, I have allowed only 5 to 7 trusts to make provision of depreciation in the books. To say no to them, I have personally attended trustees meeting and asked them categorically, ultimately, what is your goal? What something specific you are going to attain by making this entry, which do not carry any meaning so far as the charity commission is concerned or so far as income tax is concerned. Then why you go for that? You keep your account as simple as possible for your donors also, for your CSR contributors also, for your other users, means bank and all that. Donation expenditure in the form of contribution or donation to any person shall not be allowed. Here the word they have used person, but I think the by meaning by the word person, they want to convey the trust and not any individual. 40A3 and 40A3A cash payment more than 10,000 provision is, even otherwise it is applicable. So here it will definitely be applicable. Section 40A1A TDS default, that also will be applicable. All these things, if you want to convince to the client, then a detailed circular addressed to our client should be prepared and sent by us, explaining gravity of the situation. With them, do not use the word gravity. You use the seriousness of the situation. This is like legal and legitimate. वो बोलेगा gravity का मतलब क्या होता है? Majority of the trustees of the trust and administration staff, this is of course my experience. You are lucky if you have some different experience. Majority of the administration staff are likely to have a tendency of taking trust related income tax provisions very lightly. अरे ये तो गाय माता का है, अरे ये तो वो ऑर्फन बच्चों का है, इसमें कायदा जो है इतना बेशर्म या बेहया नहीं हो सकता है, इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग कायदा नहीं हो सकता है, आपकी कुछ गलती होती है, उसको कहना पड़ता है कि ये बुक मेरे हाथ में है, मैं इसलिए देख के बोलता हूँ. A small class of the trustees is active in such a way, anything they read in newspaper, they will immediately take a photograph and send to you in WhatsApp. अभी इसमें हमको क्या करना है? My first reply to them is, don't send any newspaper to me. Is you send me notification, because I always give reply after giving notification or the rules or official announcement and not by reading newspaper. And try कर लेना सब कभी भी notification कुछ भी आता है और प्रेस में जो कुछ भी आता है वो कहीं ना कुछ आगे पीछे अफला गफला हो जाता है, तो वो ट्रस्टी को उसका मिसकंसेप्शन हो जाता है। ही विल ऑलवेज रिलाई ऑन द न्यूज़पेपर बिकॉज उसके घर में वो न्यूज़पेपर 30 साल से आता है। आप जब नोटिफिकेशन की बात करते हैं तो ही फील्स एज इफ दैट ही इज एन इंग्लिश मैन एंड वी आर टॉकिंग इन फ्रेंच. So this also we have to convince them that always notification words are important. You can read any newspaper, no problem, but I will always guide you based on notification. Such a communication, when we communicate to our client, this has been my experience. When we communicate anything to our client, if it has been communicated in a applicable vernacular language, it will have definitely more impact. इंग्लिश में आप लिख के भेजेंगे तो आपके probably you have 40% of the client which will definitely understand and implement English very nicely, no problem. Hats off to them for having good knowledge in English. What about the 60% class? They are more activity related, they are more field related. They don't have anything more to do with this type of papers. So always write in the vernacular language, whatever is vernacular language. In our case, it is Gujarati. In your case, it can be either Hindi or Marathi or whatever. So make a representation in vernacular language. This was probably the reason that I wrote a book in Gujarati language, because I am working in Gujarat. Next one is details of the audit applicability and auditor's details. Primary details are there. Furnishing, one thing is that furnishing of audit report 10B and 10B with UDIN is now prerequisite before, I mean not furnishing, but the furnishing of UDIN is now prerequisite. पिछले सालों में कभी-कभी ये भी दिक्कत हो जाती थी, 10B वाज़ नॉट फर्निश्ड और रिटन फाइल हो जाता था, या फॉर्म नंबर 9A और फॉर्म नंबर 10 वाज़ नॉट फाइल्ड एंड द फॉर्म रिटन वाज़ गेटिंग फाइल्ड, एंड अल्टीमेटली then your senior friend will tell form 10B तो even during scrutiny assessment across the table भी दे सकते हैं. There are high court assessments, there are high court judgments, everything is there, but then convince that high court judgment to the income tax officer sitting before you when there was offline discussion mode available. It becomes difficult to them. As far as possible, try to comply law in a 10% stricter mode in which they have envisaged, howsoever illogical that is. We don't discuss that, but try to implement 10% in a stricter mode so that you have little bit of leeway or little bit of the gap for a comfort level. Whether liable to audit under any other act, so their Gujarat Public Trust Act or Maharashtra Public Trust Act, you will have to write. Then there is information we have to give person who are member in the AOP and trust. This is to be given particularly by this venture capital fund and investment. Next one is serial number 15, clause number 49. Content is A29(2). Name of the trustees and non-individuals person referred to. Everything is to be given. Particularly holding 5% or more of shareholding, that is to be given specifically. In this connection, a suitable declaration should be obtained from the trust management. Trust management should always be forced by us. They should definitely form a habit that during 1 year, at least 2 to 3 declarations they are supposed to give to us. Otherwise, वो सिर्फ ऐसा ही मानते हैं कि हमारा अकाउंटेंट ने जैसा भी बुक लिखा है, we will not care to see it. आपको किस लिए रखा है? My accountant will bring the potla of books before you. आपको उसमें से जो देखना है देख लीजिए, आप मुझे बस साइन करके दे दीजिए. कभी-कभी तो उसको बोलना पड़ता है कि भई I have to sign and not the put my left and thumb impression. It is the things are not that easy. जितना भी लाइटली आप ट्रस्टी को रखेंगे रिलेशन अच्छा रखने के लिए, they will definitely form a good habit and that will go against the good principles of our own profession. आपके क्लाइंट को अगर आप कोई गलत आदत डालने के लिए फैसिलिटेट करते हैं तो आपके प्रोफेशनल ब्रदर को ही उससे दिक्कत होने वाली है. Next one is declaration. Yeah, declaration should be obtained. Details of section 11(2), that is accumulation. Form number 10, we have to file accumulation for specific 5 years. Year of accumulation, year-wise details, amount applied by you for the purpose, other than purpose, amount invested by you, everything is required to be given. Most important part that you have to remember in your mind is that if any amount of accumulation under section 111(2) remains unutilized at the end of the fifth year, earlier 1/6 year was also available as a grace period, that has now gone, and in that particular year number of trusts have paid sizable amount of tax because of miscommunication either on the part of chartered accountant or on the part of the trustees. So if that amount is not utilized, you have to pay tax at the rate of 30% under section 115 BBI. You should keep a watch on selected cases in your office, and when the fifth year is about to start, you should give caution warning to your trust that before this date you to compulsorily utilize this amount. At the same time, you have to bring to their knowledge that simply making donation to another trust will not tend amount to utilization of the funds out of this 11.2. They will make donation and then will come to you कि सर अपना तो हो गया है. जब आप उसको 2 सवाल पूछोगे तब पता चलेगा कि they have not spent this way, they have actually given donation to others. And when they will, sorry, when you will say them that this will not do, now you will have to spend once again. So again, we have to be unhappy feelings creator before the trustees. They very rarely consider us as a facilitator. They usually always feel us that आप तो कुछ ना कुछ नया ही निकालते हैं, आप तो कुछ ना कुछ इलॉजिकली निकालते हैं जो उनके दिमाग में नहीं उतरता है. Wherein we bring from the law and notification and all that. Details of accumulated income which has been taxed in early year-wise details as per financial year is required to be given. Then next comes option under section 11, that is deemed application. Usually it is required to be applied in the next year, that is ensuing year. But in certain cases, when the income is not received or when there is a court injunction, then we have not received the income, then we have to utilize it in the year immediately following the year in which the fund is actually received. But 99% cases of next year, so we usually talk in that pattern. If the amount is not utilized, the difference between 11.2 and 11.1, one particular form difference is that for 11.2 you need to have a specific purpose. For that you will utilize during next 5 years. Whereas 11.1 you can utilize in the next year for any purpose, be it even administrative, and you need not even specify the purpose for which you will be spending this amount in the next year. So it is a case of 11.1. If it is not utilized, then 30% tax is to be paid. And details of accumulated income taxed in earlier, that also you are required to give, just like we gave in 11.2. Details of investment of the funds, year-wise breakup के साथ में देना है. Out of corpus donation. Corpus donation, earlier we used to understand within the meaning of section 11.1D. But since 1/4/21, a new concept has come, that is ATG 2B, in the case of notified mandir, masjid, church and gurudwara and other places of public offering and all that. So we should ask our client to bifurcate data in the account itself. They should keep, though corpus is corpus, I don't deny, but they should keep 3 different groupings. One grouping should pertain to financial year 2021 only. Second grouping should pertain to financial year 21-22, 22-23 and 23-24, because in clause number 2 you have to give other than above received on or after 1/4/21. And third one is other than 1 and above, which we usually consider our regular ATG, means 11.1D. Details of all above 3 categories are required to be given separately and in n number of columns that have been given on that particular page number 52. ATG 2B, as I said, refers to donation received for repairs and renovation of the notified places. Remark that also I told you. Clients should be instructed to maintain accounts in 3 different groups for quick separation at our level. Otherwise, वही घिसा पिटा डायलॉग आएगा, सर मैंने तो आपको सब दे दिया है, अब आपको उसमें से जो निकालना है निकाल लीजिए. सब निकालते निकालते कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि हमारा सिर में से दिमाग निकल जाता है. Reporting under all the 3 categories mentioned above is required in detail, starting from opening balance and mentioning of receipts during the year, applied during the year, amount invested or deposited back, with bifurcation of the closing balance between amount invested in the mode specified under section 11.5 and the amount invested in mode other than 11.5. One side talk with this reference, I have labeled it as a practical hint. In those cases, where the trust has not been notified under section 80G2B, means regular trust, our existing trust, which is having, which may not be having 80G2, in cases where there is not, it is not certain as to how many years a project will take, and after how many years, in fact, the funds would be utilized. It is better always to collect donations as corpus donation under section 11(1)(d) by obtaining suitable instructions from the donor. Just obtain donation in corpus, keep in your accounts and invest in your bank FDR. You can utilize this fund at any time in future, because now utilization of the corpus has been allowed. Let us, because while crediting as a corpus, we are not paying any tax. I mean, we are claiming to be exempt. So, and if it is utilized, I mean, if it is utilized and recouped within 5 years, we'll again get benefit of application. But suppose it is not utilized within 5 years, what we are losing? We got corpus, we claimed it to be exempt. We utilize it after 5 years, after 7 years, after 10 years, after 15 years, or utilize within 2-3 years and have not done redepositing of the same within 5 years. We are not getting any benefit. Okay, no problem. But we have not invested anything which we need to obtain back in the return. So this is a practical hint which any of the case, if you come across, you can discuss with your trustees. Of course, suitable instruction from donor has to be there. There should not be mistaken. Next one is details of the loans and borrowings that is required to be given. As it is in the case of application out of corpus, here also the repayment of loan and borrowing has to be within 5 years from the end of the previous year in which such application was made from loan or borrowing. Next one is the details of corpus investment and deposit made. This is, earlier one was the bifurcation, break up into 3 different groups and different columns. Here it is a investment on a particular date, that means end of the date 31st March 2024. Therein 3 categories are still there. Donation received for renovation, repairs of the temples and mosque, etc. on or after 1/4/20, that is financial year 2021. Second one is the same thing, but 3 different financial years, 21-22, 22-23, and 23-24. Every year, 1 year will be added to this. And third one is our regular corpus, which we used to collect earlier. Here also, if proper groupings are done in the accounts by the client, then proper reporting could be comfortable for us. Subsequent to this investment, there comes an investment held in the concerns where the person specified under section 13(3), matlab साले का साला, is having substantial interest. लिमिटेड कंपनी है, अपने पहचान वाली है, तो इट इज बट नो चल कि वो साले के साले की कंपनी में ये थोड़ा शेयर तो अपन को लेना चाहिए. If you do it, you are running a risk, because that will, n number of things are to be given, name, address, concern, etc. Main point is that such an investment will attract section 13(2)(h). Consequences of that you know very well. We need not much in detail. Then comes the other investments. Investment other than that mentioned in Schedule JC above are required to be shown here. Next one is voluntary contribution and donations received in kind and not converted into investment within the specified mode. Number of times the trust get donation in form of shares. I usually advise the trust to immediately within 5 to 10 days or say 1 month to convert this into first of all sell it out and then invest in the bank FD or other modes of 11(5). प्राइमरीली रिप्लाई क्या रहता है, इसका भाव अभी अच्छा नहीं चल रहा है, 1 महीने के बाद या 3 महीने के बाद देख लेंगे. सर अपने को कितना वक्त मिलता है? वी हैव टू से द करेक्ट थिंग, यस आपको 1 साल मिलता है. अरे साहब 1 साल मिलता है, कोई बात नहीं. लेकिन एक बार जो टेबल पे से आइटम निकल गया डायरी में से, बस देन एंटायर ईयर विल गो अवे and you will be facing severe consequences of this thing. And when that day will come, no, that trustee will tell you, what do you know? अरे सर आपने मुझे बताया नहीं. भाई तू 1 साल तक मुझे पूछने नहीं आता है, तेरा कोई कसूर नहीं है, सारा कसूर मेरा ही है. This is what the practice of the trust is. Schedule JC, voluntary contribution 13(1)(d), we have to keep in mind. 13(1)(d) provides that any investment acquired in a form which is not in a form prescribed in section 11(5) and held so for a period exceeding 1 year, then it will be created as income and taxed at the rate of 30%. Details of the balance sheet. This has been added in the assessment year 23-24, probably 22-23, sorry. This entire paper filling up by us do not require much of the point to be discussed. Only one thing is there, page number 55. In the own funds, we have to show the income accumulated under third proviso to section 1023C and 11.2. That means the income accumulated under 11.2. For that, we usually pass the entry. So from balance sheet, we will be getting that figure. But for the deemed application, I think 95% of the chartered accountants do not pass any entries in the balance sheet. So that amount remains clubbed with the income expenditure account accumulated balance. Here you are required to show that amount separately. From last year, I have started the practice that if any deemed application is claimed that the year, I debit income and expenditure account and credit deemed application by whatever name credit. So that amount can be straightway kept here. And next year, it attracts our mind also that this amount is required to be utilized, so that out of the total application of income, first of all, we have to deduct this amount before arriving at the legitimate application for the same year. Balance sheet breakup, I don't think we need to, because we all are master in balance sheet. Reconciliation of corpus is required to be done. What is the closing balance as on the March 24? The reasons of difference, as we discussed in the earlier sessions also, that fixed asset is also one valid 11.5 mode of investment of corpus donation. So out of corpus donation will definitely be continue to be shown on the credit side of the balance sheet. A part of the amount you utilize in acquisition of the fixed assets, then this entry will have a significance here, and then your closing balance as per balance sheet investment will tally with that. Details related to political party, details related to electoral trust. I am not going in that details. Sorry. Voluntary contribution, schedule VC. A detailed working and breakup of voluntary contributions received during the year is required to be given. From this year, assessment year 24-25, if there is anonymous donation, then we have to put a specific working as to how much anonymous donation is taxable and how much anonymous donation is non-taxable. 1 lakh rupees and more than 5% and all this working that I have written here. Anonymous donation, if exceed higher of the 5% of the total donation. Total donation here means it is total donation and not total income. Total donation. And that total donation is including corpus, not excluding corpus. Or rupees 1 lakh, then excess is chargeable under section 115 BBC. If trust maintains the record of identity, indicating the name and address of the donor, then it cannot be treated as anonymous donation. Name and address written in the copy of the receipt, XYZ name, XYZ address, कुछ ना कुछ लिखा हुआ होना चाहिए in the name of address, then it cannot be said that the record of the name and address of the donor has not been maintained. If you write only name and write the Surat or Mumbai, that will not suffice. Something has to be written. वो पीपल के बाजू में या पोस्ट ऑफिस के पीछे या ऐसा कुछ भी लिखा हुआ रहेगा तो मेरे ख्याल से डिपार्टमेंट कैन नॉट से दैट यू आर नॉट मेंटेन, अदरवाइज डिपार्टमेंट विल डेफिनेटली ट्राई टू कन्वर्ट दिस कॉर्पस डोनेशन इनटू रेगुलर इनकम एंड दे विल चार्ज द इनकम टैक्स पेबल अपॉन दैट. Sign of donor is not compulsory in the receipt book as per Income Tax Act. We usually always advise our client to obtain signature. I said earlier one principle of 10% stricter compared to Act. And from management governance point of view, it is a good practice that in receipt book, the signature of donor is being obtained. But we should clearly understand the law income tax does not require that donors should sign the receipt. Of course, in corpus donation, specific instruction is must. Details of the contributions, including grants from companies and CSR, are required to be shown with suitable bifurcation file. Aggregate of income derived during the previous year, excluding voluntary contribution. You have to give the breakup, receipts of main object, receipts of incidental object, commission and interest and all that. Then comes page number 58 of the notification. Schedule A is the clause number. Main point is amount applied to stated object of the trust or institution during the previous year. Capital expenditure and revenue expenditure both are required to be shown here. As I said earlier, what specific love they have got between, I mean, for distinguishing between capital and revenue when they are going to allow everything. They have put a specific column here, whatever amount you, whatever head you prefer here, donation made to trust, other trust, therein also revenue and capital clause is there. In first row, that is A1, you have to mention 100% of the donation given to another trust. And then you have to enter 85% of the donation. What is that amount? Because 85% is going to become eligible to you for deduction. Then there are number of other clause. Amount you have applied towards religious object, relief of poor, and number of things. Cost of the new asset. Yes, cost of the new asset for claim of exemption under section 11(1)(a). That is specifically required to be shown here if you suitably want to take benefit of that section. Number of times client discusses with us this property that we have to sell. Actually, he is asking from the point of view of charity commissioner whether any prior permission is required or not. If you restrict yourself to the charity commissioner only, then this important part will never be registered in their mind. When he is discussing any sale of property and when you are discussing prior permission of joint charity commissioner must, you be very specific and download the content in his mind that with reference to this type of sale, whatever payment you received, either it is advance payment, or whether it is security deposit payment, whether it is 5 installments, then first, second, whatever, at whatever, on whatever date, whatever amount you receive, on the very next day, you should take out an FDR for a minimum period of 6 months. If this point does not enter his mind, then what will happen after the passing away of 31st March? He will contact you, or you will contact him after verification of the account. And suppose they have not invested the money in bank FDR, then the time has gone away, and then you cannot claim 11(1)(a) because FDR is considered to be a capital asset so far as the income tax is concerned, and from getting benefit in the computation of that capital gain. So this much point apart from this was necessary. I took 1 minute more for that. Proper care is required to ensure that only capital expenditure are capitalized in any of the cases, in any of the year, at any time. Income tax department allows 100% of the capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. So prima facie, sometimes you will try to become indifferent to revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. But you should always see that only capital expenditure are capitalized, because capital expenditure, when your case is selected or attracts section 1310, then at that time capital expenditure is not allowed. So you be very strict, and all the borderline cases you verify clearly, and if it is more than 100% capital nature, then only you capitalize and not otherwise. Expenditure not allowed in application other than application out of the following sources of the fund. If you have done certain expenditure and sources are different types of them, if it is from 11(2) accumulation, you had given donation to a trust or institution registered under 12AB towards corpus, then that application is not allowed. Donation to trust or institution registered under section 12AB, other than towards the corpus, but in the case of it is donation out of the accumulated income, then that also will not be allowed. Donation to trust or institution registered under section 12AB, if they are registered, fine, no problem, but they are not having the same object. Your trust is having exclusively medical objectives, and that trust is having exclusively educational objectives. If you give donation to them, not only that, you are attracting and you are inviting a disallowance, but 12AB4 specified violation also you are inviting. Application outside India for which approval as per provision of section 11C is obtained. Next one is 11C is not obtained. Applied for any purpose beyond the objects of the trust or institution. कभी कभी मेडिकल पर्पस के लिए एक बच्ची का ऑपरेशन के लिए 2.5 करोड़ रुपए की जरूरत है, एडवर्टाइजमेंट पेपर में आता है, योर ट्रस्ट इज ओनली मेडिकल और ओनली रिलीजियस फॉर दैट मैटर, or only social things which is not covered here. And out of the compassion, you collect the fund from the public, specifically giving your advertisement in the name of your own trust. Collect the fund and give for that operation of that innocent child. Operation goes success, heads off to death, no problem. But income tax department is not concerned with that thing. They are very much concerned within the four corners of the law. You have done violation means violation. Howsoever good job you have done, that is not our lookout. And they are right in their place. So this also you have to properly teach to your clients that do not spend anything beyond the objectives of your trust. Clients should be instructed to maintain one unique account. So far as the donation I am talking now. Whatever donation, let them give to any trust for any purpose, purpose, whatever. They should keep only one unique account in the ledger, donation to other trusts. All entries in this ledger account should be irrespective of the purpose, whether corpus or non-corpus or registered trust or unregistered, whatever. And they should be asked to submit the details in a particular format containing the following columns. This has been devised by me, and I always send this Excel format to my client. कि भाई ये आप भर के दो, बाद में ही आपका काम आगे चलेगा, not before that. The information which are required by us with reference to the donation to other trusts that I have listed here, and after getting that only I proceed for other things. In practice, one difficult number of times happens: payment of a rent and receipt of a donation. Number of times it so happens that one trust utilizes property and resources of another trust for some function or facilities and says and pays the agreed amount. That amount is factually being paid as a rent. But practically what happens? That trust gives you a receipt and that receipt is of donation. No one notices this technical difference until the real paper comes to you. Now you have to see ultimately what format appears that has to be followed and complied with. Either you cancel that, get that donation receipt cancelled and get the receipt of the rent. And if that amount is exceeding 2,40,000, then comply for TDS also. Or you, whatever might have happened, you let this remain as a receipt of donation from another trust. But in that case, donation to other trust provisions will apply here. So you have to ask for the trustee of that trust. You have to ask for the trailer certificate of that trust. You have to assess whether that trust is having the same object or not. एक ट्रस्ट का सिल्वर जुबिली, गोल्डन जुबिली या कुछ भी चल रहा है. So all the followers of that trust and well-wisher of the rest from all over the India or all over the world will come on a particular day and a few days before that. That trust will need n number of residential facilities. So in the surrounding area, they will search for n number of dharmshalas. Dharmshalas are being run by different trusts. Now, presume that you are paying amount as rent because you are utilizing the rooms and other services of that particular trust. You are giving the amount. They are issuing you a donation receipt. This anomaly should definitely be set right before we go finally in the picture. In such a case, proper presentation and consequential compliance is required depending upon how it is treated. In case of rent, the TDS compliance is required to be done. Source of fund to meet the application. Different incomes are shown there, page number 59, and you to show the application. Procedural part it is, not much debatable point is there. Then schedule A, total amount applied during the previous year, then amount which was not actually applied during the year, for example, creditors. As far as possible, I do not allow my client to pass an creditors payable entry to appear in the books. Something has been purchased, amount is not paid, or part amount has been paid. Then I always tell them to pass an entry only for that amount which is paid by you. Part amount which is paid in the next year, you should debit in. So, for example, it is a building. They have purchased the building. 25 lakhs is the cost. 15 lakhs paid in this year. You debit 15 lakhs to building account. Do not pass any entry of the 10 lakh rupees. Sometimes, even from accounting point of view, technically this might be wrong. I'm clear about that. I'm very clear. But as far as charity commissioner's office and income tax office, you are not likely to face any problem. Then I believe in taking such liberty. Next year, when you are paying 10 lakhs, you debit 10 lakh rupees. Because considering the figure of creditors is not a small job so far as income tax computation is concerned. Because you have to take into consideration only the creditors of 23, 24. Whereas in his accounts, if he is following the creditor system, there will be creditors for 23, 24, 22, 23, 21, 22. All this you have to consider and you have to segregate the figure. So actually what is the creditors which are payable for 23, 24, only that is to be disallowed. And out of the creditors of 22, 23 or 21, 22, if they have paid something during this year, then you have to add towards application. Appears quite logical, but it is complicated when you start working upon your table. क्या क्या फिर से Section 8 company में you have to follow that rule, no problem. You have to take care to add creditors, to reduce the deductors from the application. You have to follow Companies Act, no problem. I said earlier, huh? But if you are following mercantile, then you do it accordingly. Fine. Section 8 means you have to mercantile, then you have to follow that system, correct? Correct, no? If you are following mercantile system of accounting, then you have to follow this thing and you have to keep a track of such entries while making computation of income. Total amount applied during the previous year, amount credited, yes. Amount actually paid during the previous year, which accrued during any earlier previous year, but not claimed as an application of income in that previous year. That you have to claim as an application in this year. Total amount to be allowed as an application. Proper matching of application is required with source of income. First, you need to apply against accumulation under section 11(2) because it is going to expire within 5 years and it has been for a particular purpose. So, if for particular purpose for which you have made accumulation, you have spent some money, that definitely you do deduction of that first of all. It is followed by adjustment of deemed application. And after that, you have to proceed as per the facts of the case. While deducting creditors from the amount of application, please ensure bifurcation of the creditors into pertaining to financial year 23-24 and pertaining to the earlier previous years. Creditors for 22-23 and 21-22 paid during 23-24 needs to be added to application. Schedule IE, that is for 1023 1 and 22 and all number of things are there, which are not much prominent as far as I understand. Only one change has been made therein, though we are not concerned much with that. Section 1022B, which pertains to news agencies set up in India solely for collection and distribution of news, has been removed with effect from assessment year 24-25. Schedule IE2, that is about approved institution of profession and registered trade union. Schedule IE3, that is for 1023 3AB and 1023C 3AC. Exemption in these cases are subject to government grants exceeding 50% of total receipts, including voluntary contribution. So suppose in a particular 1 year, voluntary contributions have increased considerably. Then in that case, the government grant will fall below the 50% level. Such things should not happen if you keep a track of on the figures of the trust working from year to year. IE4, that is about section 1023 3AD and 1023C 3AE for educational purpose and all that. This exemption is subject to total receipts from all institutions, I mean all divisions or vibhags, whatever you say, not exceeding 5 crore rupees. Practically, it needs to be examined when total receipts during the year is nearing to rupees 5 crores. And care should be taken by the trust management to ensure that during subsequent year, either because of the progressive trend or because of an inflationary trend or due to some expansion program which they are going to undertake in the next year. If the total receipts are likely to exceed 5 crore rupees, then suitable actions for obtaining exemption under alternative section or similar section is required. It should not become that time has passed away and then you apply for particular exemption. Otherwise, your trust is in soup for that year. Schedule HP for housing, house property income. Schedule CG for capital gain. Various figures and breakup of all these transactions are required to be given. Long-term capital gain from sale of land and building and other things. Particular care is required for section 11A. Capital gain arising from transfer of capital assets shall be either short-term or long-term, where whole or part of the net consideration is utilized in acquiring a new capital asset. The whole or proportionate part of capital gain is deemed to have been applied. I told the same thing before 10 to 15 minutes. In this matter, even a bank FDR, preferably for a minimum period of 6 months, even one High Court has said that minimum period of 6 months is not a condition. But we should always try to be little bit on a safer side. 6 months. Okay. CBDT circular says 6 months. That is what we are following as per what I propagated now. So FDR should be obtained for that, and whole or proportion part of the capital gain is deemed to have been applied. Yes? Anyone? Okay. In this matter, even a bank FDR, preferably for a minimum period of 6 months, CBDT circular also says it 6 months, it is considered to be a capital asset. Practical hint, client should be advised to invest all payments received in this regard in a bank FDR for a minimum period of 6 months to avoid any tax liability. Client के साथ बात करते वक्त whenever they feel uncomfortable while listening to you, do not fail to add one line. नहीं तो फिर ट्रस्ट को इनकम टैक्स भरने का आएगा. बस इनकम टैक्स भरने का आएगा इतना बोलोगे तो वो आधी नींद में भी होगा ना तो वो जग जाएगा. Then you can insert whatever you want to say. We have to become elevated year by year on communicational part also. And those segment of the trustees which are considerably dumb understanding wise or sometimes यार ये क्या silly चीज ले आते हो. We have to thank all those because they are elevating our endurance level. Virtual digit assets 115 BPH, other sources general, income from business or profession that you have to show separately if business or profession is forming part of your trust. Current year losses, loss अभी carry forward and setup तो होता नहीं है, so I don't know how this clause find place in ITR 7. When carry forward of loss is not allowed, then what is the significance of this clause here? Nothing, no? Okay. कभी में क्या होता है, such type of things मैं सोचता हूँ. फिर when the argument or the discussion goes on between the people of Gujarat and people of Bombay, no? A given trend or given presumption is always that the person belonging to Bombay will be having a better argument compared to people in Gujarat. So, just now I confirm what I believe is true or not, and Mr. Bataviya confirmed me, so thanks to him. Because I belong to Gujarat and he belongs to Bombay. Just because these things do not become monotonous, some flyers I am adding to it. I hope you will pardon me for that. Schedule PTI. PTI पढ़ते हैं तो हमेशा प्रेस ट्रस्ट ऑफ इंडिया इन दिमाग में आता है. It is passed through income. We also have to pass through it. Schedule SI special rate, income which are chargeable in special rate. Accredited income under section 115TD. वो शेयर की सवारी वाली बात फिर से आ गई. When section 115TD is attracted, when specified person means any entity registered under section 12A or 12AB or 4, 5, 6, etc. is converted into any form which is not eligible for grant of registration under section 12A or B being like that, or when registration or approval granted under section 12A or 12AB has been cancelled or trust fails to upgrade them or continue or renew the registration approved under section 12A or 1023C or 4, 5, 6 and 6 of that, or trust is merged with an entity which is not having similar objective and not registered under section 12AA. Or trust fails to transfer upon dissolution all its assets to another trust or institution registered under section 12AA or approved under section 1023C within a period of 12 months. So, upon dissolution, trust should transfer all these assets within a period of 12 months in favor of such a trust which is under approved category. Otherwise, you will become unapproved. This means the control of income tax continues with you. LIC का मंत्र आपने सुना होगा, जिंदगी के साथ भी जिंदगी के बाद भी। जब तक आप जी रहे हैं, आप जब काम कर रहे हैं, तब भी हम आपको परेशान करेंगे by various laws, and where your trust comes to an end, then with the help of 115TD, we will continue harassing you. So that is why I have used the word जिंदगी के साथ भी जिंदगी के बाद भी. Practical special care. In the speech of Mr. Bhattacharya, we discussed this thing, but the specific emphasis was not laid at that time on this particular issue. In the month of September 25, all your earlier old trusts will be having a due date for making an application under section 12. The special care will be required in the month of September 25 or earlier months when numerous applications will be due under section 12A1AC2 of the old existing trust which had applied for after April 21 under section 12A1AC1. All regular trusts, old trusts which are holding 12A certificate now, that will be due, and renewal application of that you have to upload before 30th of September. So, as rightly said by Vipinji, you have to start this process immediately after April 25. You have to prepare a proper circular, little bit of detailed one in a vernacular language, send it to client. As far as possible, you hold meeting also to make them realize the not the gravity of the seriousness of the situation. Otherwise, आपका ट्रस्ट का ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, इतना रुपया टैक्स भरने का आएगा. एंड बेस्ट एग्जांपल वुड बी टू गिव देम, आपके ट्रस्ट में इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी कितनी है, आपका वो जो हवेली वाला मकान है वो कितने साल पहले लिया हुआ है, वो बोलेगा ज्यादा याद नहीं है, फिर भी आप बोलोगे वो अप्रोक्सीमेटली, तो बोलेगा हाँ वो तो 10,000 में लिया था 50 साल पहले. अब उसको पूछो कि व्हाट इज द प्रेजेंट वैल्यू नाउ, he will say it is valuing more than 5 crores. And then you tell him that out of 5 crores, if you are asked to pay 1.5 crore as a tax, then what you will prefer to do? फिर उसको ये सब रिकंसाइल होगा बाद में कि yes, why it is necessary and why all this information is required to be given. During the period, that is August and September 25, I am talking down the line more than 1 year from today's date. Tax audits and trust audits will be on the top priority. Filing of Fund 10B or 10BB, filing of ITR 7, everything will be on top priority. And at that time, you will have to do this exercise. During this period, regular will be on workload. So the workload under section 12A1AC2 will painfully strike the hammer exactly at the same time. You have to plan the things very much in advance. Specified income under section 115BBI. Details of income under section 11.3 means the amount which you have not utilized within 5 years. Deemed income under section 11.1b, that is deemed application which you have not utilized during the ensuing year. Deemed income under 21st proviso of section 1023C or 13.1C. ये 1023C का proviso है ना, वो एक बहुत interesting item है. Someone will tell you under 15th proviso of 1023C, this is the thing. Under 18th proviso of 1020, I will tell you literally, you have to sit with a pencil in your hand, go on marking one, because provided that, पहला, provided also that, दूसरा, provided further that, तीसरा, बस अभी गेम खत्म, दूसरा गेम अब चालू होता है. Provided further, provided further, provided further, up to n number. अगर आपको 20th proviso, 22nd proviso ढूंढना है तो पेंसिल से लिस्ट आउट करेंगे. And I guarantee in 60% of your attempts, in your first attempt, probably you will make a mistake, and instead of reaching to 22nd proviso, you will probably reach to 21st proviso or 23rd proviso, because it has been designed in such an interesting way that I said you, it is a trap game. Take care and don't get unhappy. Income not exempted for violation to 3rd proviso 1023C or excluded under 13.1D. Unutilized portion of accumulation under section 11(2) at the end of the 5th year is taxable at the rate of 13% as specified income. Unutilized portion of accumulation under section 11(1) is taxable at 30%. 13(a)(c), any income or property if applied or ensures for the benefit of specified person mentioned under section 13(3). 13(3) का भी अगर आप परफेक्ट लिस्ट बनाएंगे तो आप तो बाद में थकेंगे, ट्रस्टी पहले थक जाएगा। इतना एक चार्ट मेरे एक फ्रेंड वो केतन भाई पटेल ने एक चार्ट बहुत फर्स्ट क्लास चार्ट बना के दिया हुआ था। व्हेन यू गो थ्रू दैट तो वो साला का साला जो है वो भी बहुत नजदीक का लगता है, क्योंकि उसमें इतने सारे रिलेटिव्स बताए हुए हैं कि आपको साले के साले से प्यार करना ही पड़ेगा फिर। Any income specified person, 13(1)(d), any fund invested in a mode other than that prescribed under section 11(5), that also will be considered as specified income and taxable at the rate of 30%. 11(1)(c), income applied outside India unless directed by the board to be excluded from total income. This much are the specified applications which are taxable at 30%. Schedule FSI, that is foreign source. I am bypassing it. Summary of the tax relief, I am bypassing it. Foreign assets, details of the foreign assets and income, details of the foreign depository account, details of foreign custodial account, details of foreign equity and debt and all that. Mostly in very few cases these are applicable, so I am not taking. Shareholding of unlisted company, details of shareholding at the end of the previous year like name and PAN and all that is required to be given. Equity share application money. Substantial details about all the shareholders is sought to ascertain about the controlling persons behind the trust. Government has decided one agenda very, very clearly, that who are the persons at the helm of the affairs ultimately. If necessary, they will veil the curtain. Who is working from the backside of the trust, so that any of the agenda which the government has internally decided, the trust should not go beyond that. Part B, TI, statement of total income, applicable if exemption is being claimed under section 11 and 12, where part B3 is not applicable. B3 is applicable actually in case where section 1310 is applicable, which we discussed at length before few minutes. Information there sought from you is voluntary contributions and anonymous donations, which are taxable under section 115 BBC. As I said you earlier, if your trust is having anonymous donation, you are required to prepare a breakup of taxable anonymous and non-taxable anonymous. Voluntary contribution forming part of the corpus other than anonymous donations taxable under section 115 BBC. Aggregate of income excluding voluntary contribution, third one. Fourth one is amount eligible for exemption under section 11(1)(c). Then income to be applied. 5-7 points are there, including 15%. All the care which you are required to take is all non-corporate donations and contributions, domestic and foreign contributions also, grants, etc. also, plus a taxable anonymous donation you are required to show against this point number 1. All corpus donations, domestic and foreign contributions, other than taxable corpus under section 115 BBC. All other income except non-corpus and corpus donation, 11(1)(c), amount spent outside India and approved by the board. Income to be applied now, actually, when more than 50% of the figures are there in your balance sheet, then you will be required to prepare a chart. I have given the chart here. Non-corpus contributions and donations, all that, you have to segregate domestic as well as foreign contribution. All remaining income like rent and commission, all that, domestic and foreign contribution. Non-taxable anonymous donation, domestic and foreign contribution. 15% of allowable donation made to other trusts registered under section 12AB, that you have to deduct from that. So the income to be applied will be domestic portion star A and FC portion star B, and total application will be star A plus star B. Here at row 5 of part B of at page number 82 of this ITR 7. care has been taken by the department to deduct 15% of the allowable donation to other trusts, eligible donation of their inter-charity, because that 15% you are not required to invest in the mode under section 11.5. That is why they've deducted here. This is in line with clarification given by circular number 3/2024, which was a very sweet circular, and very much proper example has been given on the page number 3 of this circular. How 15% is not required to be invested in 11.5 mode. This is because of 15% of inter-charity donation is not required to be accumulated or invested, etc., etc. Fine. Then there is an addition. What are the additions to it? Income chargeable under section 115 BBI, that is to be added. Income in respect of anonymous donation, taxable part, that will be added. Income chargeable under section 12(2). Medical or educational services made available to a person covered under section 13(3). आपका ट्रस्ट है, ट्रस्ट में मेडिकल फैसिलिटी चल रही है, लेकिन उसमें साले को हार्ट अटैक जब आया था तब उसको वहां पे ट्रीटमेंट दी गई थी, तो वो जो ट्रीटमेंट आप उसको देते हैं, दैट इज टैक्सेबल. अमाउंट डिसअलाउएबल अंडर सेक्शन 11(1), read with section 40A(3) and 3A, cash payment exceeding 10,000. These all are regular provisions we know. For 6 and 7, what mentioned above, condition is with reference to corpus donation under section 80G2B to a notified temple, mosque, and etc. Income chargeable under section 11(4). Income chargeable under section 11(4) is the business undertaking income, where the income of any business undertaking is not included in the total income of a person, that is trust. Assessing officer has power to determine the income of such business undertaking in accordance with the provisions of the Act. Now, where any such income so determined by assessing officer is in excess of the income as shown in the accounts of the undertaking, then such excess shall be deemed to be applied for the purpose other than charitable or religious purpose. So always take care of showing the perfect and correct amount of profit of business undertaking in your balance sheet and computation of income. Gross income, part B1, gross income after exemption under section 11 or 10 or 1023, like that. Income not forming part of 9 above. That is income from house property and all that. I think some of the clauses here are redundant, but somehow either they are continuing with some logic which I do not understand, or these are unnecessary here. Part B, TI, Part B2, applicable if exemption is being claimed under section 13A or 13B, that is a political party and electoral trust. We are not right now concerned with that. Part B, TI, Part B3, applicable if total income chargeable to tax under section 1310. 1310 we have discussed probably 2 times, so I don't think any necessity to repeat it here. Still, if any one of you finds it necessary, please raise your hand so that I can repeat it. Expenditure in the form of contribution or donation to any other person. As I said earlier also, here the word person appears to have been used for entity registered under section 12A or 12AB and not any particular individual. Capital expenditure. Intention of legislature is very, very clear to disallow capital expenditure. As Gautam ji said, law is law. Don't think about more logic. If it is law, if it is clear, then follow it. Keep your brain at home. Capital expenditure, legislature, the intention is very clear. Hence, care should be taken to capitalize only those expenditure which are clearly of capital nature without any doubt. Here the question comes to our mind, probably I raised that question earlier also. While audited accounts have been furnished, while there is no prima facie doubt about the genuineness of the expenditure, then what is the logic to distinguish between capital expenditure and revenue expenditure with reference to allowability or otherwise? I do not have any idea. If any one of you know it, please enhance my knowledge. Business income, there it was before 2 clauses, it was with some different purpose. Here it is with some different purpose. Clause is almost same. Part B, TTI, computation of total income. Computation of tax liability. कहाँ पे कितना 30% से देना है, कहाँ पे कितना 25% देना है, all this computation is there. Amount payable, tax payment, TCS, verification, and you are done. So this is what about ITR 7. I have tried to make it as less complicated as possible. I am not speaking as easy as possible because it is very difficult to make it easy. I have tried to make it as less difficult as possible. Still, if you have any query as far as this point is concerned, we can discuss it. Later on also, if you have any query, my email ID is given here. You are most welcome to mail me your queries. This was about ITR 7. Second file from here. This. There is one another file also. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. That's
हाँ, बराबर है. चलिए, कुछ नहीं करो. So many circulars and notifications keep on coming from time to time. We should always keep a proper track of it. I will really advise reading a notification and circulars hard copy, not on the screen. On the screen, you just notice something has come, then immediately you take hard copy. Because reading in hard copy and understanding for practical purpose, I have always found it better. You can mark it also. And from the point of view of neuroscientist also, it is a better way of understanding by verification of the and reading of the paper instead of the screen. If you keep a proper track of the circular and notification, your knowledge will always remain abreast. Otherwise, usually what happens? At any given point of time, we usually keep a track of last 4 to 5 circulars. And any circulars prior to that, we lose a track. If you get a print, you read it, you make marking, you keep in a file sequence chronological, along with the summary also, and your own remarks, the way in which I have prepared here, the contents, in the column of the content, I have tried to give number of understanding from our point of view that I have given. And I think all of you have from time to time undergone circulars also, notification also, क्योंकि ये तो क्या है, अपने काम की चीज है तो 24 आवर्स में अपने पास आ जाती है, चाहे बटा भी साहब भेजते हैं या और कोई भेजते हैं, लेकिन आ जाता है हमारे पास. और उससे 4 दिन पहले वो ट्रस्टी का न्यूज़पेपर का कटिंग आता है. Nothing much to be discussed in this except what 5 to 10% you might have lost track of it. मैं ऐसा नहीं कहता हूँ कि आप you do not understand, you must have definitely understood. लेकिन वो 5 to 10% जो थोड़ा बहुत गैप रहता है, that sometimes you compensate on my part and sometimes I compensate on your part, because the charity word we use normally. For the time being, I'm keeping this apart and probably I may not repeat this. Charity is done of, first of all, we understand is of money. Secondly, I'm sorry, Gautam ji explained it to be that way that if you have anything which you have in abundance, that you have to share with others. In Bhavnagar, one of my clients has got number of foreign contribution. One of the big institute, probably either in England or United States, its name itself is such, Share and Care Foundation. I like that name very much because you have to always continue sharing something. And by that gesture, you continue to care for others. From that, this entire concept comes. So sometimes I do share and care for you. Sometimes you do share something and care for me. It is also one part of equal charity. You all have come here and you have done a charity upon the speakers. Charity, all the speakers have come here. They have done charity upon you. We should continue dialogue. We should never keep a silence because Gautam ji himself said कि भी हम दो प्रोफेशनल बाजू बाजू में बैठे हैं तो कभी भी पूछने में थोड़ा हेजिटेशन रह जाता है, ये इसको क्यों पूछूं, पूछो. गुजराती में देयर इज वन कહેવત, पूछता पंडित निपजे लखता लियो थाई। आप जितना पूछता रहेंगे तो उसका किसी का ना किसी का तो नॉलेज बढ़ेगा, या तो उस या आपका बढ़ेगा या सामने वाला बढ़ेगा। समझो किसी का भी नहीं बढ़ता है तो आपका जो नॉलेज है वो कंफर्म तो होता है। तो वी शुड फॉलो दिस थिंग। This was all the thing. I said earlier that the circulars and notifications I do not need to discuss in detail. Still, with reference to any circular or any notification, if there is any point in your mind, I cannot, without your permission, get down from this dais. Exhausted, you are also, and the same way me. But you have got the option of quitting, whereas I don't have. If there is nothing else, then of course I understand that you all had a meaningful listening. I cannot assess it on my own because I continue verification of papers, verification of screen, and going the through the contents which I have done. But I hope you have properly understood what I wanted to convey, whatever the specific points that I have made remark with the red particular color, and I hope that will be helpful to all of you in elevating and confirming your professional knowledge. You have definitely given me patience hearing, and you were generous enough to give me some laughter also during my speech. That has kept you also alive and me also alive. I was enriched by that also. So for that also, I sincerely owe my thanks to you. I owe my sincere thanks to first of all Bhatavia ji, because during the time when I was preparing my all this write up, I used to consult him 2 to 3 times. In fact, we have come in contact since only 2.5 years. But our friendship, emotion wise, giving an image of more than 30 years of the friendship. This the concept of holding this type of seminar. First of all, it came to the mind of Ruta Chitleji, and after that, Vipin ji and Gautam ji took up the entire project on their shoulder and made it a good success as it appears from your tremendous presence. So, my sincere thanks are due to all the persons who have taken initiative. I think that's all that my emotions I have expressed in the best way that I understand. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, CA Kishore Shah, sir. I'm sure your impactful presentation on ITR 7 and its nitty-gritty shall go a long way. I would now like to invite CA Ashwin Jain for the vote of thanks.